G'day everyone, it's Doctor Colin here with another pop culture powwow for your entertainment. And this one is, I'm going to keep it kind of short, but I just felt inspired to do this because I was very excited about a trailer that dropped this morning. So yesterday I got up at the crack of dawn and I was watching the Today Show. I was waiting for the Richard Wilkins segment to come on, which I can't even remember. I think the last time I saw the Today Show, I was in hospital or something. It's been a long time. So I was watching it to get the 15-second glimpse at this teaser trailer that I've been waiting for months to sort of see. And even though Richard Wilkins is talking over the majority of it, it was still enough to put hairs standing on the back of my neck. So this morning, first thing I did when I woke up, before I even got out of bed, I had my phone in my hand. I was on YouTube checking to see if the trailer was out. And before I even had the ability to form words, I was watching this trailer. And I've watched it at least a half a dozen times since then. And it's the teaser trailer for The Legend of Ben Hall, which is a film that's been directed by an Australian director, Matthew Holmes. And his passion for the project has been evident from day dot. I got into this film when it was first announced on Kickstarter. So the original plan was that through Kickstarter they were going to raise enough funds to make a short film about the last sort of 6 months of Ben Hall's life. Now Ben Hall is a bushranger who really lived, all this stuff really happened. But this is the first time that anyone's actually made a proper film about Ben Hall since, I guess, when they made silent films. The last time that Ben Hall's story was adapted to film in any kind of sense was when they did a series back in the 70s. So the majority of people haven't even heard of him. But the origin behind this project is very similar to sort of my own background and my interest in Ben Hall. So when I was 12, I found this coffee table book about The Last Outlaw, which was a mini-series which was created back in 1980 to celebrate the centenary of Ned Kelly's execution. And it starred John Jarratt as Ned Kelly, and I was reading this thing and I was learning the history of Ned Kelly, which was interesting in and of itself, but there's also the aspect that they showed you how they made the mini-series, how they recreated the buildings exactly from photographs and line drawings, how they recreated all the costumes, the casting, how they made such amazing casting choices that even now, like I struggle to think of who could do the role better than the people that did the roles back then. And that book not only inspired my love of Ned Kelly, but it was also the thing that made me think, I want to be a filmmaker, I want to make movies. And my whole motivation throughout my secondary school career and my dream has always been to make the definitive Ned Kelly film that's as accurate to history as possible, because it's always driven me up the wall when people will adapt something that's a historical story, that the story in of itself is tremendously interesting, but they add things to it and they change things because they want to make it more palatable for a movie audience or whatever. And it's just, without using expletives, it's just difficult to describe the feelings about it. But Matthew Holmes came in with a similar mentality. He always wanted to make the definitive Ned Kelly film, and when Gregor Jordan made his film back in 2003, he went, well, there goes my chance. But because he couldn't do the Ned Kelly film, he decided to look at other bushrangers, and the first one that sort of came up was Ben Hall. Now, anyone who knows anything about bushrangers will tell you that when you are looking at the history of bushrangers, there are two names that everyone knows, and that's Ned Kelly and Ben Hall. And so the way I sort of compare it is, it's like when you're looking at the composers. The top three that people sort of know are Beethoven, Mozart and Bach. Now, if Ned Kelly's Beethoven, then Ben Hall is Mozart. Far more prolific, far more prodigious, but overshadowed to some degree by his contemporary. And I think that it's really great that we've got a film that's not only approaching the story that's barely been touched on for decades, But the fact that the approach is to make it as accurate to history as possible, and they've sought historical records and they've pretty much transcribed the records to some degree into the dialogue and the direction, and the whole angle that they're going with is they want the audience to make the judgment based on what they've seen without bias. Ben Hall's not the hero, but he's also not the villain. He's just a man doing these things that actually happened, and so it's up to the audience to interpret them, which is, in my opinion, what they should always do with historical films. It's one of the reasons why I hate films like Titanic, because it takes an actual historical event and frames it with a ridiculous fictionalized story that is in many ways disrespectful to the people that were genuinely involved in that case. It was a tragic story. But this film, visually, is stunning. It was filmed in Victoria, but they did everything they could to make it look like regional New South Wales, and believe it or not, there is a difference. So there's that. The scope of the cinematography is amazing. This film, compared to, say, the American films that are coming out, it's somewhat tiny budget, I think probably equal to what most American films spend on catering. But what they've done with that budget, and what they've done is they've relied a lot on volunteers to offer their services, and as a result, everyone who's involved in this film has been in it for the love of the project, and it's dripping with the love and the passion for the story and the project. And in this trailer you get a bit of the Streets of Forbes, which is a folk song which was written about Ben Hall back in the day when these events were unfolding, and it's just absolutely haunting and it's beautiful. It would be really awesome if you guys could all go and check it out. So I'm going to send a link here to the trailer and a link here to the channel where you can go and watch a few of their other videos, because when you look at the way that the whole thing's been developed and put together, it's fantastic, and I'm really proud of this thing. At the moment, it's looking as though it's going to have a limited domestic release here in Australia in early December. I'm definitely going to be talking a bit more about this film in later videos, but I just wanted to keep it sort of brief because I'm really excited about this trailer and I want people to go out and see it. Without me waffling on any further, to check out the trailer for The Legend of Ben Hall. Leave a comment telling me what you think about the film. I'm so excited for this thing. On that note, I'm going to leave you so I can go and watch the trailer again. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.